What's up, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascend. I have QNT Quant up on the screen, the 1 week price chart. We're going to dive into this last wave here, which is the macro 5 of a C of a 5. I mean, we're getting real into the roots here, but mainly what we're focusing on today is going to be these waves right here. Waves 1 and 2 are already done in the markets. We've been talking about macro waves 3, 4, and 5. So what color should I make that? Let's make that purple. So we're working on the purple 3, 4, 5. Let's talk about where that could go. I put out a video on this a long time ago, but guys, I mean, we've been in a downtrend since August of 2021, and we are still 72% down from that high. So we've been battling a little bit, and what we got going on was we had our an ABC here. You could probably count out 5 waves if you really wanted to. A run back up into this A wave. And again, this is a weekly chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Had a drawdown here, and this is the B wave. So 1, 2, and we're working on what would be 3, 4, 5, but we don't have time for that. This thing's only got a C wave left, and right now we're working on the 5th wave of that C leg. So where's that going to take us? What are we looking at? This is one of those scenarios I do not have us go in the full extension of this current range, and that's just the way it works, guys. I don't make the rules. This is I believe, if I remember correctly, pretty decent sized market cap. Yep, $1.5 billion market cap. So we'll talk about some different possibilities here and some different price levels. I'll give you my primaries, and then it's up to you guys with what you want to do. And if stuff, keeps running past our targets, great. We'll go back to the drawing board. But I do want to be conservative here because I don't want you guys leaving anything on the table. We definitely don't want to be round tripping. So if I take this fib range here from that A wave to that B wave, our most recent drop, you can see that a 3618 of this range coincides with the 1618 of this whole range, right up there around $675. It's a lot of confluence right there on 2 different ranges that are dating back a pretty long time. This one is a 4-year range now, and then this guy starting in October of 22, we're coming up on 3 years for that range. So a lot of resistance is going to be up there at the 1618. So let me take that guy off. The other thing we want to look at is this last run up here, that 3rd wave to the 1st wave. Do we have any confluence on some extensions with that? Brings us out a little bit shy of the area that we were just talking about. This one closer to 570, not my base. This wave 3 to 4 drop, let's draw that out as well. It should be same thing, closer to 540, because that low, pretty close to that low there. We just haven't had a ton of strength. So when we're talking about our primary being up here at 675, that's where this 5th wave would go. That's where that would go. That's where that would go. 5th wave there. And if we zoom out, you can see that completes it. A 1, 2, 3, 4, which was technically right there. 4. And then our last run up, barely setting a new high over the wave 3 there for wave 5. So what do these next couple waves look like? We're talking about right now, we have this run up. We're going to be ending right around 675. So I'm going to take the drawing from the low here. No. I'm going to take it from right here, and let's talk about what some logical price movements for us would look in this situation. So I'm drawing this. This is from the low here. Okay, it's our 5-wave run up. That's what it would look like to get to the 1. There's a couple different ways you can do it. We're going to do it this way for now. Typically, we're going to see some resistance somewhere back around these highs. The A wave is down here at, what is that, 225, which really wouldn't give us too much gas on that move. If I'm looking at this whole thing, a lot of times the 0.5 is a major player. So maybe we see this thing pop up to the 0.5. That 0.5, if we look over to the left, right up there around that last high. Okay, so it makes complete sense for us to find some resistance there. Here, I'll draw that out for you, and we can see it's actually closer to the 618 there. So in this scenario, we'd fall just a little short of that last high, come down on a wave 4, and then wave 5 would take us up to our target. So wave 3, I'm looking at like 367 in there, potentially up to the 400 level on this wave 3. Now, Wave 4 in the alt seasons, you'll typically see a 35 to 50% dip from our current price right there. Coming back down to test that high would put us at 41%. It also takes us pretty close to that 236 right here. So for me, that's where we're going to be looking for wave 4 to settle back down to, onto this 236. And then if I draw that, if I extend this line over to the left, you can see it's the top of that A wave. So essentially we're hitting this top of the third, coming back down to the A and going off one more time. You see how that happens? So let me get rid of some of this stuff. You know where we're at on the macro. This is what we're looking at right now. A 5-wave move like so. Now, let's measure out each of these waves just to make sure it makes sense logically. From here, we're looking at, that's 116% on that wave. This third wave, we're looking at 333% or 4.3x. And then in this scenario, the fifth wave, 224%. So third wave is the longest in this scenario. Wave 5, a little bit longer than wave 1, but nothing, nothing out of the ordinary. This would make complete sense from our current price level. That's about a 5.6x, and I realize that sounds pretty low. I do. That would only put us around a $10 billion market cap. So I mean, with that being said, guys, you have to be paying attention to what's going on in this next wave. This third wave is going to be a big one here. If this third wave extends higher, we're going to come back to the drawing board. I told you, we're just being conservative here on this move. So I know people are going to be upset in the comments when they see this, but it makes sense there. And again, we do have extra room to run. If this thing goes the full extension, that's going to be closer to a 13x, but we also have these other other areas here on the right. There's cases that could be made for the $800 level as well. We'll get to it as it comes, but first things first, let's get up here. Let's get to that 375 level, and then we can start talking about potentially an extension and this thing going higher. But for now, this is what we have with QNT, my friends. Just started the Quantum Circle about 3 weeks ago, real-time trades, portfolio access, a couple videos a day about the macro, and then including that as a Discord channel, and I'm teaching you guys how to do TA. Link for that in my bio. If not, I just appreciate you guys being here. If you could follow, like, repost. Been doing TA a long time, and I just want to help as many of you as I can. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you later.